Ladies and gentlemen, well, the Xbox event has now finished, and I am with...
Myself, Amata. We just literally finished watching it maybe 5 minutes ago, so it's all fresh in the old brain.
Okay, so there is something we should actually bring up before the event. Did you happen to notice Aaron Greenberg confirmed a couple of hours ago that 60 FPS will be the standard output, but of course the next generation consoles will go up to 120? It's because a lot of people have been asking, will games be in 30 FPS, and Aaron says that they will be targeting 60, which is, well, happy fun times for me anyway. I'm bloody happy about that.
No, I didn't see that, to be honest, so, thank you for letting me know. I am really happy to hear that. Like, that is something I have been, complaining / asking about for ages. Like, obviously, when we had the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, we had some games that had the option of running at 60, but 60 as the standard is where we should be, to be honest.
What I loved about the previous generation, especially the first year, is how they were saying that the 30 is for the cinematic experience. Like, no, you
don't
just
get
don't
me
have the
started on that
performance.
whole cinematic phase that gaming went through. That was terrible.
I think they should have made it 15 FPS so you've got longer to enjoy each frame.
I mean, if they really wanted to make it cinematic, it would have to be 24 frames per second anyway, so they fell immediately.
Anyway, shall we begin with... I guess we could do these games in order, and then we can kind of blast through them, and then kind of have
I thought we could discuss what games interested us the most first, and then we can go through the rest, or we can do it in order. Up to you.
I figure order, because otherwise we're going to forget.
Alright, fair enough.
I know us, we're going to be like, oh, yeah, well...
yeah.
Actually, let's just get to one that I think was shocking to me most of all out of the way.
Yeah.
I think Madden. Now, personally, I never expected Madden to be on the next generation consoles. I think I think at Sony's conference they're going to tell us that FIFA will be on the consoles as well. And I, for one, I'm just Madden. Jeez, who would have thought?
I know. I was actually floored by that information.
that was bad. Anyway, let's get on to the games that people actually really give a crap about.
Yeah.
So, Bright Memory Infinite. I personally got Crisis vibes, along with maybe a little bit of Bulletstorm. And the sword also kind of reminded me of Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I will say, my first impressions of that were really good. Not only did the graphics look gorgeous, it just looks like fun, to be honest with you.
I know, right?
And
did you see it was a single developer that was working on this?
Yeah, I know. When he said it was made by one individual, I was like, excuse me?
I know. Does this guy not sleep? Does he not eat? Is that...
No, apparently
I wonder
not.
if Bright Memory Infinite is probably because all he sees is flashing lights at this point when he closes his eyes.
Yeah, no, that game looks really cool. The sword and the grappling hook, and
which definitely had Bulletstorm vibes for me. The grappling hook.
Yeah, and the armor that they showed on that left arm briefly, that gave me Crisis vibes as well.
It looked really pretty as well.
Yeah, I will say graphically it looks stunning. One thing I just want to mention real quick, something that Aaron Greenberg said actually before the game started, is that he obviously confirmed that we will be seeing first-party games in July, and that we will be seeing Halo there. So for all of you looking forward to that, basically July is first-party time.
I, for one, am looking forward to Halo probably the most. The rumour is, and I don't say this from insider information, but the rumour is it's going to be more open-worldy. And it's going to have more of an interconnected world, and that, to be honest, would be amazing. Having just a massive interconnected kind of universe / world. However they do it, I have no idea, but I really love Halo for the single player aspect.
I mean, Halo I've never really gotten all that into, to be honest, but I'm interested to see what the new one looks like, and if it looks like fun, I'll play it. Why not?
Yeah, I never even touched the multiplayer aspect. For me, it was all about the single player.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bright Memory Infinite, that was definitely one of the most interesting games of the entire show, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to seeing more from that. We didn't see a release date, did we? Or did I miss it?
No, I didn't see one.
Okay.
Next is Dirt, which is not really my thing. I'm not hugely into racing games, but I'm pretty sure I saw some ray tracing in there. And honestly... when it was going through the different environments and different times of the year, obviously different seasons, that did look pretty cool. Like, I'm not a massive racing game fan, but I can definitely understand people who are going to be like super hyped for that. I have some friends that are going to be absolutely like drooling over playing the new Dirt.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty much in the same camp as you. I'm really not into racing games at all, unless they're like silly ones like Burnout or Wipeout or Mario Kart, stuff like that. So it's not really my thing. But I will say, graphically, as always, looked great, but not my thing at all.
The only time I was really into racing games was back when I used to be really into Gran Turismo. I used to really love Gran Turismo and Wipeout. I was never any good at them, but I loved them. I guess the one for me that kind of raised my eyebrow was Scorn.
Yes, I also raised several eyebrows over that. It gave me huge Alien vibes to the point where
I actually thought it was Alien for a second.
Yeah, I legitimately was expecting it to be like a follow-up from Creative Assembly to Alien Isolation. Or
I thought it was like Prometheus. Do you remember like the what are they called, the Builders or something like that?
Yeah. That throne gave me Prometheus vibes as well. But no, it's some unrelated game called Scorn that just obviously is heavily inspired by the look of Alien.
Oh no, Ridley would like a world.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we didn't see any gameplay at all,
no.
But I am definitely going to keep my eyes out for any information on that one, any gameplay, etc. Because I am definitely intrigued. I'm a big sucker for sci-fi stuff, and it also depends what kind of game it is. We literally didn't even know that much. It's probably going to be horror, just from the look of it, but we obviously don't know that. So.
I will say, if it's horror, I'm all for it. What did you think of Chorus?
It doesn't look like my thing, to be honest. Like, it looks like it's mostly focused around, like, you know, you're in your ship and that's where you spend most of the game, like flying around and stuff. Didn't really look like my thing. Looked very interesting, graphically speaking, and looked very pretty. I'm sure there's people who like those sort of games who are going nuts over it. It's just not my sort of thing. What about you?
I think it's either going to be a game I actually really like, or I don't end up liking at all. Because from the trailer, I was more interested in what it seemed to be going on with the character rather than the flying sections.
I will say, like, the sort of character background stuff sounded interesting, but then they just kept coming back to like the plane or whatever it is, and I'm just like, okay, all right.
I guess for me, I'm on the fence with that one. I have a feeling I may enjoy it, but I don't, because of there was a part of me that was kind of disappointed because the very first couple of opening scenes, it almost looked like something from Mass Effect, and I was like, and there's a lot of rumors that Mass Effect is getting like a remaster, so I was kind of like hyped, and then they were talking about this other game. I was like, okay, unsure if Gusta.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like my thing, but you know, maybe some more gameplay will come out and I'll be like, actually, yeah, that looks fun. But just from the trailer, it didn't look like my sort of thing. Obviously, next was Madden, which we've already talked about. But then was something very, very cool. And because obviously it took a while to reveal what it was, I thought you might find my notes on what what I said. Weird AF first person horror ? Vampires, and then underlined Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Yeah, I you know, for just a second I was kind of like, because of the way that that he was hanging them like mannequins or something, or I was kind of like, is this like a Joker type of thing? Like, because they're obviously smiling.
Yeah, and it also kind of reminded me of Condemned, the first one. I never played the second one, but how you used to find like the scenes of the serial killer in that game and stuff like that. So I was like, okay,
that's a good call, actually. Yeah, I had a feeling it was something. I just couldn't think of what it was. I was like, yeah, okay, Condemned. Yeah. The first one was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I never played number 2, but I heard it wasn't that great, so I never bothered. But yeah, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I'm really looking forward to that. It looks really interesting. It looks really weird, which is always good. I mean, give me more weird, to be honest.
Yeah, did you ever play the first one? I don't know if it was out on console. I played it on PC.
I did, but it was like such a long time ago, I barely remember it, so I do need to go back and replay it at some point. But
okay.
I'll probably have to do that, obviously, before it comes out. But it looks interesting, just from what I saw in the trailer. It looked weird and intriguing, and vampires are always cool. So sign me up as far as I'm concerned.
I'm just going to be interested how the combat and stuff works in it, because it can be a little bit clunky with first person kind of magic combat sometimes. Like some games do it really well, and others it doesn't feel quite natural.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, we also didn't see much gameplay in the trailer, but we did see a little, and it looked fine from what I saw, but I was mostly just like sitting there trying to figure out what the hell it was, to be honest.
Speaking of what the hell it was, what did you think of Call of the Sea?
I mean, that one looks interesting, but we saw so little.
Yeah.
I literally could not form an opinion about it. I mean,
I agree.
When there's more information, I'll definitely check out a trailer or whatever, but it's one of those games where I was like, okay, cool concept, but I literally have no opinion of it because it showed so little.
Cool story, brah.
Yeah, cool story, brah. Basically, to drag up an absolutely ancient meme. Yeah, I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled for more.
I kind of felt the same about The Ascent. Like, The Ascent did not grab me at all.
I mean, The Ascent, it looks like XCOM, which is cool. I like XCOM, but it didn't really grab me, no, to be honest.
I mean, it didn't look bad, but it was kind of like I was actually more interested in it until the gameplay happened. Because I kind of expected it to be like this, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but I guess kind of like a more open world, like immersive experience, or, like a new Skyrim kind of game, or maybe some type of RPG, and then it was like...
it's just an XCOM style game, which is fine.
It's not my type of thing. I think I'll give that one a miss. It doesn't look bad, it just does not look my thing. What does look my thing, though, is the ray traced happiness that was called the Medium.
Yes, I will say the Medium looks really, really cool and is made by a really good team, Bloober team. They did Layers of Fear, which I played through completely on the channel back in the day when I actually did Let's Plays. And the thing that got me even more interested, like the second they said this, I was like, alright, I'm in. They're going to have Akira Yamaoka to do the soundtrack, and obviously he did the soundtrack for Silent Hill. So I'm in just from that, to be honest.
So yeah, the reason I thought it was quite cool looking is because of the fact that obviously because you are a medium, you're almost like seeing glimpses, I suppose, of this other world. But it was also the fact that you almost like saw the world kind of rising and disintegrating into pieces. But I like the fact that it's actually set in one location, like this, I think they said something about like a holiday resort or something like that. And I think it's going to be
an
a
old
lot
hotel,
more...
they said. And
that's it.
Developer talk after.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it could have a very interesting narrative experience. For me, I've said this multiple times, but ray tracing and the next generation technology in a horror game is something that I'm super interested in, and I wonder what the experience will be like in terms of like surround sound.
Yeah, I do wonder if it will be more ray traced audio rather than visuals, because obviously
I think they'll do both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be both, but I do wonder if more of a focus will be placed on the audio, especially if they've got Akira in on it, because as we've all heard, Silent Hill 2 soundtrack, Silent Hill 3, and they're fantastic, especially Silent Hill 2 is one of my favourite soundtracks of all time, so I'm really interested in that, because Bloober team are a great team. As I said, Layers of Fear and Observer I've played. I never played Blair Witch because it just didn't really interest me as much.
It's actually a pretty good game. It's available on Game Pass.
Oh, is it? Okay, alright, I'll check it out then, why not?
I haven't played much of it, because I don't know if you recall when I was doing the core count testing thing. There's like a section at the beginning which is really good because you're in dense forest, and basically I had to replay it through like about 16 to 18 times to get different results.
Right.
So that it was like such a good experience at the beginning, but then because I had to redo it like so many times, my willingness to play the game in the beginning, I was like getting like trauma. So I was like, no, not again.
Yeah,
no.
To be fair, I kind of had similar feelings about Far Cry 4. Seeing that intro.
Like, hello darkness, my old friend, every time.
Yeah, I mean, Far Cry 4 is a great game, but at the same time, I'm like, I never want to see that game again.
I have to say that I do want to... I'm really looking forward to that experience.
Yeah,
Scarlet Nexus.
That looks anime as hell, and I am in.
I actually liked it until they were showing the anime stuff. Like when they were showing that, I can't remember what they call the creatures, like the others or something like that.
Yeah, the others have arrived, and like the monster design was so weird, like a corset with flowers coming out the top, and I'm just like, all right.
I'm like, what sexual repression do you guys actually have in that studio? Like seriously, what is going on with you, dudes?
Whatever drugs they're on, they need to share with the rest of us.
I honestly want to know what the hell they're thinking of in the bedroom, because Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus.
Obviously, a corset with flowers coming out the top, and then human legs, of course, obviously.
Why not? I think that says it all, really.
Yeah, I mean, it did look really fun, to be honest. Like the
Psychologists go ahead on that one.
Yeah, like the really colourful graphics, and like the fact that you're the psionic warrior, and obviously, like, you know, I saw he like pushed a train at some point and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that could be really interesting if they play with it well. And the combat looks fun, to be honest. It looks really interesting.
I think I checked out on that one. I think it's a bit too anime for me.
All right, cool. That's where we differ. Obviously, I'm in personally.
What did you think of Second Extinction?
That doesn't look like my thing, to be honest.
Similar.
But I was watching it with my partner, obviously, and I think he was pretty much like orgasming next to me as we were watching it. It looks like his sword game to the T.
You know, the funny thing is, I thought it was Turok at the very start. I thought it was like Turok or like a reboot or something. And then I was like kind of still in it, and then it was like, work with your squad. No, I don't want a squad. I want to take this on alone. Go away, squad. And
yeah, like the second I saw that, I was like, all right, this isn't going to be for me. This is like a multiplayer focused thing. But it looks, you know, it looks cool. Like, you know, shooting dinosaurs in the face with a shotgun is always going to look cool, but it's not my thing at all.
I mean, technically speaking, also, aren't they wrong with the name? Like, they're saying it's Second Extinction. But if Earth, like, has basically wiped out most of humanity, and now you're going in to wipe out the dinosaurs, isn't that at least 3 extinctions at that point?
Well, they're probably referring to it being the second extinction of the dinosaurs.
Maybe, but still.
I don't know.
Yakuza, though, just looked so... I mean, I've never played a Yakuza in my life, but it just looked so bloody fun.
Yeah, I will admit, like, I was kind of saying this as well when we were watching it, that I've never played a Yakuza game, but I want to change that, because all I've heard is that they're just, like, barrels of insanity that are great, just, like, fun, and that trailer just looked like it, like, you were suplexing people, and, like, just, like, jackbooting them in the face, all with this, like, crazy afro, and, like, pulling baseball bats out the ground, and all this.
Well, they've got it all on Game Pass. A lot of the Yakuza games are on Game Pass.
Yeah, no, I do want to go back and play one, because I've heard they're good, and apparently they just have ridiculous amounts of content from what I've heard.
That's what I've heard, because Stephen was playing through all of them on PlayStation 4 back in the day, and I don't know, like, he was going through one, but I think he kind of got, like, stuck on it or stuff like that, because he was, like, seeing his girlfriend over lockdown, but he was saying that all of them are just absolutely amazing at the moment.
Yeah.
So he was just telling me about them on a WhatsApp group, and he was just telling me how amazing it is. So he kind of, like, sold me on it. So when I saw all of them coming on Game Pass, I was like, oh, okay, this is happiness. And some of them are available on PC as well.
Yeah, like, they made a big push, and, like, Yakuza 0 and a bunch of others came out on PC, like, late last year, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Sega, good as Sega, though. That, like, sometimes Sega do some really, like, weird-ass stuff, like games where you're just like, oh, really? How did that get past quality control? But then other times they'll do these amazing experiences, and this is obviously one of them. So I'm kind of all for it. I'm all for it.
It looks really good.
Okay, I'm going to let you lead off with Assassin's Creed, because just guilty of not actually finishing any Assassin's Creed ever.
Well, I will admit, I was a little disappointed purely because they were like, yeah, we're going to see some Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay, and I'm like, sweet. Did they show actual gameplay? No.
Well, I think this was a problem for a lot of the event, but we'll go into that more later. But just, what do you think of the overall...
I mean, just judging it by what we saw, it looks really, really good. I mean, like, I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while. I didn't bother with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It didn't really appeal to me. I don't really know why. I felt like I was kind of a bit done with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Origins is the last one I played, and it was really, really good. Now, I am excited for this, not really because it's Assassin's Creed, but because it's Vikings. Because Assassin's Creed is just kind of another RPG now, which is fine. But yeah, it looks really, really good. Graphics look stunning, as always. You know, they always look great. And personally, I'm just excited to get on my long ship and do some raiding. As long as the gameplay is fun, and it has all, like, the mythology in there. And I think it is going to be, because the first trailer showed Odin on the battlefield, just kind of watching you. So I feel like they are going to have, like, the mythology in there sort of linked somehow, as well as, obviously, I think they're going to have some sort of, like, base building sort of elements in there, because they're, like, talking about going into England and you have to, like, get your community going and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see some actual gameplay, but Ubisoft are probably going to show that at their own thing that they may or may not do.
Okay. For me, kind of similar. Like, I'm interested in it purely because I think it could be very cool, but I don't know if I'll play it because I just haven't. Every time I look at an Assassin's Creed like Black Flag, I'm like, wow, this looks so cool, and I even bought the damn thing, but then I just didn't play it. So just like, I don't know, for some reason it's just I think it was the early Assassin's Creeds that put me off and how clunky they were.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, they are not anything like that at all anymore. So
yeah, definitely.
If you're interested in the story and the setting of, say, from Black Flag onwards, give it a bash, because Black Flag it would be better if it wasn't Assassin's Creed game, because the bits where you're in the pirate ship doing your pirate thing are great. The bits where you have to go on land and do your assassin's thing, I sleep. So hopefully they got the balance right. They did get it right in Origins, so I'm sure it'll be great for Vikings, or Valhalla, should I say, as well. So I'm going to withhold real opinions until I see some actual gameplay, but I'm interested, and I'm sure it'll be well made. The Assassin's Creed games are always well made, at least.
Okay, so let's go into a few other notes I had. The first was I loved the fact that they are embracing the fridge meme.
Yes.
I think that's very smart.
The fridge memes are great. Can I just point... Well, I just want to draw attention to this, because I feel like other people need to share in my disappointment of what we didn't see. We did not see Elden Ring, and I cannot express to you how sad I was.
Well, to be fair, though, there was never official confirmation.
I know, but I was like, they revealed Elden Ring at E3 last year. Like, come on, it makes sense for it to be at the Inside Xbox event. Give me that Elden Ring gameplay from
I think
software.
It's going to be later on.
Oh, maybe it'll be at Sony's
because they didn't even show like any new. Cause Cyberpunk was supposed to be here. I think they're holding back some heavy hitters. That's just I don't know that for a fact, because he kept pushing that. I don't know if I don't remember the exact verbiage, but he was also kind of hinted that there are games that they have not even detailed yet that's coming out for them, and they were like detailing that or hinting that there might be more studios or something like that when the conference was first starting.
Yeah, they were definitely hinting that there's more. This isn't it. So you know.
No, I meant for the first party, excuse me. Just to clarify, I meant for first party.
Yeah, no, I know. Obviously, this won't be a first party, that being Elden Ring, but
no.
I was disappointed not to see it. Obviously, we were never promised it, but I kind of got my hopes up that we would. So, I kind of memed myself, but still.
You did. Although, for me, I think the interesting things were, one, the fact that pretty much most of the games here were smart delivery, which is extremely smart of the actual developer, because let's say, just for the sake of argument, the game is released in, I don't know, October, and the console doesn't release until November. People are just not going to buy the game. They're just going to be like, screw it, I'm going to wait, because I don't want to buy the version that makes me stuck with the old platform.
Yeah, no, that was very, very smart, and I will say I love that Microsoft are pushing that as much as they are. It's very smart from them, and obviously it's very consumer-friendly as well.
Yeah, although Sony have also, I believe, said that they're going to do it. Well, EA have said they're going to do it for some of the PlayStation titles as well. So I think it's definitely a smart move on their part, because, I mean, to me, it's the one benefit of having digital, that you can basically just constantly upgrade the platform. It's a license, because it does kind of piss me off. It's like the whole Blu-ray thing. It's like if you buy a DVD, it does kind of piss me off that I have to then buy it again if I'm buying, if I want to get like the Blu-ray version of it. I think at the very least, if you cough up and have bought like, I don't know, Terminator or something on DVD, there should be a way to just redeem it so you can get like a digital high definition download or something. But that's a very separate topic.
Yeah. Anyway, so enough about me and my saltiness over Elden Ring.
Salty.
The fridge memes was pretty great.
So I think overall, if I had to, I think for me the biggest complaint I had was that they pushed the fact that there was going to be gameplay, and I think that although I understand it was in-engine, I have no doubts that it was. I honestly would have preferred to have seen some dude sit there, at least for a couple of the games, maybe not all of the games, but let's just say for the sake of argument, a dude sitting there for 5 minutes, or even a couple of minutes, and playing like Yakuza and Vampire, and just showing what different things could happen, because some of the gameplay snippets were so fast, you're just like, I have no idea what just happened there at all, any way, shape, or form.
No, I do feel the same, that they should have showed more gameplay. I mean, the games that showed the most actual gameplay are probably Bright Memory Infinite and Scarlet Nexus. The rest just didn't show any. Oh, sorry, to be fair, Bloodlines 2 showed a little, but the rest was purely like either just a scripted cutscene or like tiny snippets.
Yakuza had a couple, but it was like, oh, someone got baseball smacked there or drop kicked there, kind of.
Yeah, exactly, like little snippets. But you know, what I wanted to see was probably what you wanted to see, which was just like some dude just playing it for 5 minutes, just so you can see what the game's actually going to look like and feel like to play when you actually play it.
Though this is just a guess. I'm saying this without education here, but if you notice, some of the, they have the disclaimer text at the bottom.
Yes.
Did you happen to notice that in many cases they were saying something like, this is how it's predicted to look on the Xbox Series X? I can't remember the actual verbiage, but it kind of tells me that some of these gameplay snippets were running on PC hardware, basically at the settings, rather than actual Xbox hardware in some cases.
I mean, the only thing I noticed was it saying that it was like in-engine Xbox Series X. I can't remember exactly what it said now, to be honest.
Yeah, if you go back, you could see that it was saying something about like, this is how it's predicted to look on the console.
Right, okay.
But either way, I don't really care about that. That's semantics. I mean, it could be running on like, a system from the 1982. As long as it looks like it does on the Xbox, it still doesn't invalidate the problem of not showing enough gameplay.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we need to see more gameplay, but that's my only real complaint other than no Elden Ring over this whole event. I mean, I was hoping to see a few more games, should I say. We only saw like a handful. I thought it would be a bit more substantial, I suppose, but we'll obviously see more in July. With the first party games, obviously going to see Halo. And
there's also the rumours about June as well, and June will be super interesting. Because I don't know if I can say this because of the... Oh yeah, actually, I can say this. We got that invite.
Yes.
Well, it was already like advertised that the event's happening with the PC gaming event.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, can I say this in public? Am I under NDA here? You've always got to check yourself.
I would have thought that us being invited is under NDA.
Well, I know, but sometimes even the contents of emails is like non-disclosure. They'll be like, if you've read this, and it just don't repeat it to anyone.
Right.
But it didn't say that. But anyway, it doesn't matter because the actual announcement is public. So I suspect that's in June. But to me, I think some events, because Microsoft is pushing the fact that they're going to have a lot of Windows games, so I think that the Xbox stuff is going to be super interesting for June. But I also suspect that Sony are probably going to go quite militant for June as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to show us. I mean, obviously I'm looking forward to seeing some actual PS5 games. Maybe we'll see Elden Ring there.
Nah. I kind of just don't want them to show Elden Ring at all now, just for you to watch her.
Why would you do that to me? That's so mean.
Did you catch the part where it was mean? It's not necessarily your anguish that I like. It's just that... Okay, it is.
fair. All right, fair. But yeah, no, July's going to be cool. Obviously, there's been lots of rumours about a Perfect Dark remake, remaster, or just
I really
a new one.
hope that's true. I so want a new Perfect Dark.
Yeah, me too. I used to play whatever one was on the N64. I can't even remember.
Perfect Dark.
Anymore. Oh, the first one. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'd be down for that. And if it is real, because obviously it's still rumour at the moment, that's obviously where we'll see it first at the first party event.
I wonder if Microsoft are going to release a new Killer Instinct. Because I think the first one released in like 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been out for a few years, and excuse me. I never played Killer Instinct, but I will say I really liked their model that they had, that you could either play it for free with whatever roster of free characters they had, or you could just pay 30 quid or whatever it was just for the game, and you had the choice. That was a really nice model, I will say.
Well, now it's all on Game Pass anyway.
Yeah, it's all on Game Pass anyway, but I'm talking like when it first came out. And, 1 sec, sorry. As you say, it has been a while, so they might do it. Yeah, I don't know if it's like as high a priority as some of the other titles that they could be working on, like the rumours of a new Fable and that sort of thing. But there's obviously lots of studios working on stuff. Oh, and I think we're going to be seeing some Hellblade 2 gameplay because Aaron Greenberg name dropped it when he was talking about July.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I missed that part.
Yeah, he just mentioned it in passing. He didn't confirm, but I took that to mean that we'll most likely see something at least from Hellblade 2.
I think the next gen is going to be a really nice jump. I mean, I've seen some people like complaining about the visuals, but I think some people were just well, first of all, you're dealing with like compression depending on the resolution. In fact, I had noticed that there were some compression artifacts even watching at 4K on YouTube. So
I saw them as well. I wasn't watching it 4K, but I saw them.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird, but I think honestly the visuals do look a lot better. The problem is, because A, we're not looking at like a 60 FPS output quite frequently on YouTube because of, once again, compression, blah blah blah, and B, the fact that it's very difficult to even get a sense of what's going on with the gameplay. I mean, personally, I think one of the big things is just going to be the immersive size of the worlds because of the next gen hardware.
I mean, the main thing I'm looking forward to is like, the jumping graphics is going to be nice, but the main thing I want is, a proper frame rate on console, finally.
It's... I think I said this before, but I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII, and it's just so painful to play it on console. It really is painful.
Yeah, the loading times are... Oh, I finished Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, for me, I really want to go back and play it, but I'm having so much trouble with the I mean, like, it's not that I'm struggling with the actual game itself. Like, it's not too difficult. The enjoyment, I find like it gets sucked out when I'm like playing at 30 FPS. I'm kind of like, oh, come on, console, you can render the next frame. Come on, I know you can. Like, come on, little fella.
I mean, when it eventually comes out on PC, which I'm only assuming it will, because Square have actually been pretty good about releasing their games on PC the last few years, I will probably buy it again, because I'm assuming by that point the whole game will be out. And yeah,
bold of you to assume.
I'm assuming, yeah. Obviously, that's a very, very bold assumption. But even if it isn't, I'll happily buy it again, because A, it's a great game, and B, it'd be nice to play at a proper frame rate.
Yeah, I gotta say.
Yeah,
it's so difficult for me to get used to the slow-ass frame rate on consoles.
I mean, I won't spoil anything. The only thing I will say is the version they've done of the One-Winged Angel theme is so good.
I have... Oh, that's kind of a spoiler.
How is it a spoiler?
Well, it basically says you meet Sephiroth in some type of incident.
Not necessarily. I said the One-Winged Angel theme. That's all I said. That's just his theme. And he's in the game. He's in the game. That's not a spoiler.
I'll let the audience decide.
That is not a spoiler. Oh my goodness. It's like saying that me telling you that Cloud is in the game. That's a spoiler.
Spoiler.
Hey, did you know that Tifa and Barrett and Aerith are in it too?
Oh my god, how much you gonna spoil for these people?
Anyway, I think I've pretty much covered everything I want to say. Is there any last words you want to say about the event?
I think for me, it was a good event. I think Microsoft weren't quite on the message for this one.
What makes you say that?
I think they really needed to show more gameplay. Or, at the very least, change the messaging before the event. Because I think people are quite disappointed that there wasn't enough gameplay. I'll be curious to see what people say about that. I think the games look cool, and I'm very interested in playing them. But I would say for at least 50% of the game, like, I can't remember what it's called now, Scorn.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't look very cool, but I have literally not even an inkling. Like, the game, for all I know, could be like puzzle blocks, like columns. There's literally no indication of what the game actually plays like. So I think that, to me, is what gets it. So I think I do understand that they were pushing it to first look and blah 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 blah, but I really wish there'd have been more gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe under normal circumstances there would have been, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I do wonder how much that has actually impacted at the current world events, so to speak.
Tough to say, but I would expect it has had at least some impact on it, because obviously it's harder to work when you're all in separate houses as a development team, I'm assuming.
Well, I think that just about does it for the video, unless you've got anything else you'd like to...
No, I fully agree. Like, I wish we'd seen more gameplay. There's lots of games that I'm interested in that I want to keep my eye on. Looking forward to the July event and the June event, if it actually happens. Also looking forward to seeing what Sony have in store for us as well.
I wonder which event Lockhart is going to be demoed at. If Lockhart actually comes out this year.
I am assuming that it's going to be this June event, simply because they specifically said that July is for Xbox Game Studios.
I will have to wait.
Yeah, obviously, only time will tell. I might be wrong, and I'll happily be wrong, because I just want to know what Lockhart is at this point, if it obviously is a thing that is real. But, yeah.
Oh, I'm certain it's real.
Oh, no, I'm sure it is. I'm just saying if, because, you know.
For me, I think the next generation is going to be very cool to go into, though. So yeah, but I think that just about does it for this video. So I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.
Right, bye.